All right, Matt. Well, it's good to see you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Koifish Prophet. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
My name is Matt Ayuen, aka the Koifish Prophet. Lifelong martial artist, coach, more recently content creator. Just trying to make my dreams come true. Travel the world, teach martial arts, train martial arts, like collaborate with cool people like you, man.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you for coming out. You're located up in British Columbia.
British Columbia, Vancouver,
Yeah,
for now.
Vancouver, yep.
For now, you know.
Yeah, so it was only a couple hours north of down here in Tacoma.
Yeah.
So appreciate you coming down, doing the seminar, shooting a bunch of content, coming out last night to the COGA fights, which were sick. Shout out to Omar and Joe DeRobio for having us out. It was a lot of fun.
Unreal weekend, man. I said this at the seminar. I said it to you last time. I said it again today. Like, it's a dream come true. You know, when you think about the dream, there's a lot of glamour around it, and the glamour is not quite there yet. And I almost prefer that like grittiness of it. You know, like it's been super fun, but we're working all weekend. Like I'm beat, but I'm lit up to be beat. You know, like how blessed I am to be tired in the pursuit of my dreams.
I love that saying. Yeah. I have that one on Instagram as well.
Yeah, IG, bro.
Yep. Well, that's actually how we met. You were down at the cultural event in Tacoma. It was like last May, I think it was end of May or early.
It was this year.
This year. Yeah. I'm sorry. And because I follow you on IG, and then I saw that you took a picture, and I was like, I know exactly where he's at. That's the convention center. So I just shot you a message like, yo, man, if you're up there for the fights, like, fucking say what's up.
Yeah.
And we've just been chatting ever since. You did the podcast on Zoom before. So
now we're doing it live.
Yep, now we're doing it live. I will say this is a bit unorthodox for me because we have a full professional videographer in the house shooting this one. So anybody watching, don't get spoiled. Okay? My dog Chris, shout out to Chris Villar. He's out here killing it, doing a ton of content. Link up with him. He doesn't just have the little $4,000 camera. He's got about $4 million worth of shit. So this. I was just making the joke right before we started. I'm like, this whole thing cost me. We shoot like 90 minutes, but like $14,000 for this episode.
$1 billion.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, it's not that much, but it's intimidating a little bit in my own fucking space. But I love it, so thank you. Shout out Chris, shooting over here behind the scenes. So really appreciate you. So yeah, man. So what did you think about coming down and shooting the seminar at Vital Jiu-Jitsu and Sriusuk Muay Thai? That's my
dude. It was unreal, man. It's unreal to be like, like last weekend I was up at the UFC. Shout out TKO Group UFC. Came back, did what I had to do. Had a couple clients. I was sick as hell. I still have a little bit of cough and snotty nose, but I feel good. Came back Friday morning, slept in, which worked out. I'm burnt toast. And came up, drove up. The border was like a long wait. Other than that, it was smooth sailings. Pulled up. You met me at the spot.
Yeah.
Got me set up. We went straight to the gym, shot content, grabbed some food. It was great. Next morning, right away, seminar. Really good turnout. Like, what a good community. Everyone was so respectful, so nice. Lots of different skill levels. I get to teach my style, right? Because I have this new school, weird, unorthodox style. And, like, people that follow me really know, but, like, I've trained a lot of martial arts. And you can see it in my Muay Thai, right? Like, I have a black belt in karate. I have basically a black belt in stick and knife fighting, right? Like Arnis, which has hand-to-hand combats. And I use that. Like, I've wrestled, done jiu-jitsu, Iaido. Like, I've done all these weird, obscure martial arts. But yeah, man, to be able to share that, and the fact that people want to, not just like, man, just having someone take 2 hours from the weekend to come see you, and then spend money, that's the biggest compliment in the world, man. And I just want to keep growing and keep doing it and keep helping people. Straight away, right to the fights. Ate some more food, Thai food. We ate Asian food all weekend. Actually, I'm just realizing we have Vietnamese food and then Thai food.
Yeah.
It was great. The fight events were unreal. COGA put on a great show. Pro-Am show, and sometimes, I mean, there's a charm to the Pro-Am show. There's a charm to the local circuit. Like, you're watching these guys try to work their way up to the UFC, try to work their way up to these organizations, and you want to support them in the small room. Like, I remember the people that supported me when I was just starting creating, when I was cringy still. And you see shit in those organizations that you won't see at the highest level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see wild moves being pulled off. You'll see, like, everyone's so respectful of each other. Like you know, I mean, you do still see like wild stuff in the UFC and like high. We talk about the UFC because it's the pinnacle of the sport. It's basically the where you're gonna potentially earn the highest or get your highest purse.
Yeah,
Basically
100%.
right. So I do want to just say that for some of my viewers, you know. But yeah, like I want to say at COGA, or not at COGA. There was another one, WFC. My guy Patrick Benson did this weird rolling double up kick thing that fucking got him a knockout. It was just like one of the wildest sequences I've ever seen in my life. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's what makes it highlight worthy, right? Like plane crashes are in the news because it never happens. You know, it's rare.
Yeah.
Like a rolling thunder knockout or like the Anthony Pettis ninja kick. You know, that shit gets highlighted over the Masvidal flying knee, highlighted over and over because there's low percentage, and that's like the beauty of the sport. We watched a title fight. You know, it was like 3-1 into the fifth. Guy took it around. You know, won that. Did what he had to do, and got proposed.
Yep.
Got engaged. You know, that was unreal, man.
Won
It's
the belt
cool to be
and
part of that.
proposed. That was dope.
Big night for him.
Yep. That was really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of finishes last night. It's funny because my buddy Jeff, he's the referee there, and he comes, he's like, "Don't be surprised if these next 3 fucking fights go finish first round." And guess what happened?
Finish.
Just like he said. I was like, "Damn, dude."
We were filming content. You're like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "It's over." I'm like, "It's so early."
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what happens. Like you could have, you know, fucking another 30 minutes worth of fights, or you're gonna have 3.
Yeah, and that's what people want too. Like, you want to see the finishes.
Yeah.
You want to see the big upsets. That's what gets you out of your seat. That's what gets you screaming. You know.
Mm-hmm. And well, it gets people at the casinos. I know why they don't have like 18 fights because it gets people back out on the casino floors.
Yeah.
You know, so or back in the restaurant. This was what we did.
Yeah.
We didn't kick it for a little bit. We were actually shooting content the entire time, shooting in the car.
Dude,
we sat down, fucking shot some content, did this style with Chris again at the gym. So
Yeah.
we did a lot.
Yeah, and big shout out to Chris, man. He's been unreal to have. Super professional, great setup. I can't wait to like splice this up and show it. And like, that's what I'm doing as a content creator. Like, it evolves with time. Like, it's always for my audience. It's never about me, right? I call it like jerk off content. Like, look how good I am. Watch me head kick someone. Watch me do muscle ups. A lot. Like, I'll do that sometimes, you know, because I want to pump myself up and feel good and show off my authority that I'm good. But a lot of times, it's like most of what I got big on was sharing advice that was important for people. And now it's about monetizing my life because I just want to get, like what everyone else does, I want to get paid to do shit I love.
Right.
And all weekend was work, but all weekend was sick. I would have done this, you know, for free. I would have paid to do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is so rad. And now it's also what I think about the content is like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know, I have every reason in the world to not be successful at what I'm doing. And I think most people, you know, you gotta either you can use it as a reason why you can't or an excuse why you have to.
Yeah. Yep. There's always a reason why, right? Or an excuse why not. So, you want to tell people about a little bit of your medical backstory or anything like that?
Yeah, bro, we can go deep in that. I'm an open book, you know that. Just no like weird political shit because I don't know shit about politics. Why people want to hear my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
You ever have that? Was like, what do you think about this? And I was like, I don't know about fighting. Why are you asking me?
Well, no, I mean, because your audience obviously knows pretty well, and if I don't know if anybody that's my follower doesn't follow you already, but they probably should. Koifish Prophet on Instagram and pretty much everything else. But you have a very unique medical history, and you're still engaging in martial arts, still potentially trying to take a fight, right? Because you want to take an MMA fight.
Yeah, bro, that's dropping news, but let's do it.
That was just something you toyed around with and told me. I didn't know that was dropping news.
No, that's all good.
So
That's how I meant to be. Burnt toast. Yeah, man. The dream was to be a professional fighter, to make a living fighting, right? And I was delusional, and the delusion served me. We'll get into the health. I'm not going to forget. And then it got to a point where, like, man, someone in my circle, like, not even a friend. He's a friend now. He's like, took me aside. He's like, brother. He's like, why are you fighting? He's like, there's so much wrong with you. And he showed me a video of an arm wrestler. And this guy just genetically has a rotator cuff like 3-4 times larger than everyone else's. Never trained for that shit. Guinness World World Records.
Jeez.
Arm wrestling champion. You know, like, there's nothing anyone could train to keep up with that. And he's like, What makes you special, bro? You can't run a 4.4. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can't do a backflip. You can't dunk. Like, you have the opposite. He's like, I quit fighting because I realized I didn't have it, and he's like, I'm a genetic freak. You know, I deadlift 500 pounds.
Mhm.
He's like, you're a genetic freak in that like your organs don't work, but like why are you fighting?
Mhm.
And he was right. Like, and there's some other things that happened that stopped me from fighting.
Mhm.
But for a while, I said that I'm known for Muay Thai, but I'm a martial arts nerd. You know,
Yeah.
people always get surprised when we grapple. And they're like, "Well, he can wrestle, or he can do jiu-jitsu." I can do everything. I put a stick in my hand, I'll fuck someone up. Put
Mhm.
nunchucks in my hand, we'll show you after. I can
Yeah.
fuck someone up because I love the art of it. Like, I'm just a nerd, and I want to experience it all. You know, and content allows me to do that. I want to document a boxing fight, a jiu-jitsu super fighter tournament, and an MMA fight.
Mhm.
Is that going to happen? I don't know. I've been dealing with my health shit for the last year and a half. Um, I had a fungal infection in Mexico that literally almost killed me, and it actually this hit me yesterday. We were talking about how I cut my finger when I had it, and I started growing shit,
Yeah, it's weird.
like
Never even
zombie
heard of
shit,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Like, and I was thinking about it last night when I got back to my hotel. It's weird that I survived that,
Mhm.
you know. And like, I think people around me knew how sick I was, but almost the delusion of not realizing how sick I was made me better faster. But like, there's no reason I should have survived that shit. That's why when I
Yeah.
told you the story of the hospital and like they all came in hazmat shoots and shit,
Right. All of
like
a sudden,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
what the fuck is going on?
But it didn't scare me because I'm delusional. You
Right.
know, the delusion serves me.
Well, like you said, kind of like that weird belief. Like I forget the exact context, but yeah, we've been talking about a lot of stuff.
Just philosophizing
A
all weekend,
lot
bro.
of it, yeah. Especially like being burnt out. It's like Sunday afternoon, linked up Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. You keep saying burnt toast. What was your analogy behind that?
This actually changed my life, and it was like a TikTok reel. So when you burn toast in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
it's whatever you want to believe in, Buddha, God, Allah, whoever it may be, is doing that on purpose to set you back.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't burn those toasts, you would have left and you would have gotten in a car accident, or you wouldn't have met the love of your life or your next business partner. And now, you know, the worst things that ever happened in my life in the long term have ended up being good. Like, we'll get into my health next, but the things that happened in my health became a superpower. And it was I would never wish that on anyone. It was torture. I went through hell,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a good thing. And so I've actually, it's like neurolinguistic programming. Like, I've hypnotized myself. When anything bad happens, I just say burnt toast. And to me, I want to believe that it's good because I'll never know, right?
Right.
That was the whole thing when I was young. I used to be like, if I had my health, I would have been one of the greatest of all times. I'll never know.
Nope.
I'll never know. Why waste your time thinking about that? There's so many other things to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that burnt toast, like, I gotta get it tattooed now because I say it so much. You know, like a Tyson burnt toast on my.
Make sure you get the TikTok logo with it.
Yeah, yeah. No free ads.
I love that. Yes.
But yeah, man. So it's a good way to look at life. Like, a lot of my philosophy around life is like, what makes life more enjoyable? What makes me a better person? What makes me a better son, brother, partner?
Mhm.
And yeah, like, we can get into my health next. Like, bro, when I was 16, they told me I had 6 months to live.
Right.
And you just saw that reel I posted. Like, people, you hear that and like, it's just words. Just words. But then I posted that picture of me in the hospital, jaundiced as fuck, cut
Yep.
open, bloody,
Mhm.
tubes in my neck and shit. And people are like, yo, what the fuck?
Right. It was bad.
It's, bro, there's so many times, whether I'm not particularly religious, but I have a lot of faith. It almost feels like I'm destined to be here. You know, like I say, like, God won't let me die.
Yeah.
God won't let me die because I have something, a mission to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still figuring out what that is. I think it's to inspire and empower people. But if I can do it, anybody can fucking do it. If I can step in the ring in Thailand and fight, anybody can do it. You got to want it. You got to know why you want to do it. But,
Right.
you know, I was telling you about this kid. You know, I don't want to say too much about him. I don't know how much he wants to know. But he's 8 years old, gymnast, and he's walking through the same hospital halls as me. You know, he's in the same room dealing with the same doctors I was. And I got to get on FaceTime with this kid and show him, like, brother, I'm teaching a seminar. I fought in Thailand. I surfed in Costa Rica. I'm going to the UFC. I'm going to Seattle. They're paying me to go out and share my art with them, what I've, like, worked my whole life to learn. Like, there's a light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah.
And the mom texts me all the time. You know, I send a bunch of merch. She wears my merch all the time. And she just texted me and she was like, he had said after he got sick, he was retiring from gymnastics. He just started training again.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Bro, if I die tomorrow, you know, I'll never know the impact I had, but I know when I was ill, I met someone who had the same disease as me, had a transplant, who had a cool life. That hope changed my life. You know, those
Yeah.
single conversations. So yeah, man, I was very, very lucky. when they told me I had 6 months to live, they told me I needed a liver transplant. You know, not drinking, not drugs. Everyone thinks that. Just lost a genetic lottery. You know, and I was so lucky that they were like, you don't have time to wait for a deceased donor. You know, we don't. Not enough people register to be organ donors. You know, none of people know about it, and so like you don't have time to wait. You need a live donor. And my dad was a match. My dad gave me half of his liver, more than half, 70-some%. Because your liver will grow back, but and he went through hell. He was at the time maybe the oldest living donor they let, and he had fatty liver at the time. He lost like 35 pounds in 20-some days to get rid of the fatty liver so he could give me, like, when I think about, you know, I can sit in this chair and be like, boo-hoo, woe is me, my organs didn't work. Bro, I had a dad that's my superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had great parents. My mom's amazing. You know, they take care of me. I've been ill for the last year and a half. I've been living with them. You know, not everybody has that. So, like, you can count your blessings. You can count your curses. I think that's the best advice you can give anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the cognitive bias. People that want to be victims will always find a reason to be a victim.
I agree entirely. Yeah. Well, that's pretty incredible. No, you've gone a long way from there. So what was the next thing? So, like, you had your transplant at 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you still training and doing martial arts at the time?
Yeah, bro.
Like afterwards, obviously, not while you're in the hospital or anything.
It's crazy because, like, I was so full of piss and vinegar, bro. I trained right up to my transplant. You know, there was a point where I was like 16 hours in bed, bro. I remember, and my dad talks about this all the time. I remember being in bed and the toilet's like the door over here, like 20 steps, not even. And I remember being so tired of me, like I want to piss myself, like I don't want to get out of bed. But if I was sleeping 18 hours or I was in bed, I wasn't always sleeping, but I couldn't get up, I would go train for an hour because that was like my church, man. Like when I bowed into the dojo and I would go train, it gave me this external outlet for everything going on in my life. Like I'm watching my family fall apart. I'm seeing my mom watch her kid die, and what did to their marriage. And my older brother was trying to. His whole thing was, I want to protect you, and you can't protect someone from illness.
Right.
And none of that mattered when you bowed. And I picked it up on the way out, but it was a break. And so I trained up right up to my transplant, and my sensei, Basil's J, man, shout out. He's got his artwork fucking tattooed on me. Again, a huge blessing in my life was like, hey man, you get better in time. We're going to China. We're gonna go train with monks, live with them, climb mountains, do the Jet Li shit. Get better, and you can come. And so that became my mission, bro. I woke up in ICU, sick kids hospital. It's a teaching hospital, and there's all these students with the head surgeon. He just did surgery. I'm like, this is Matt. He's 16 years old, primary sclerosing cholangitis diagnosis, live liver donor, blah 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 blah. Like I'm not a person. Like very, surgeons are like.
Yeah.
They're
This
almost
is the
sociopaths.
issue,
yeah, like, which is great. It's how they save lives. But he turned to me, he goes, Matt, do you have any questions? And I was like, yeah, when am I allowed to walk? He's like, brother, you're in ICU. What? And I ended up working with him years later for raising awareness for organ donation. He's like, I've never heard that in my, 20 years of surgery. Like, you were just so, and it's because I had this trip to look forward to. Right? I got out of the hospital and I started learning to walk again. Within a month, I was strapping 20-pound ankles on my, like Rock Lee, bro. 20-pound ankles walking around, one of the reasons my scar is so fucked up is I started training too soon. So I caught an infection in my scar,
damn.
But it served me, bro. It served me. And then I went to China, I started university, got super sick again, need another transplant. That was a long way. It was almost 2 years before I got a live donor. And I've had a lot of health issues since. But bro, it just teaches you every day is a fucking blessing, man.
For sure.
Every day is a blessing. And I'm not gonna count that as a bad thing. It taught me this, I'll never have the pain or regret.
Right.
Because I have that looming clock of, I'd way rather go through what I went through, as awful as it was. My family went through it, my friends, everyone that loved me went through it, than have to live a safe life, never do the things I wanted to do, wake up at 55, get a cancer diagnosis, and be like, I did nothing with my life. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah. Yeah, the regret, yeah. And to already understand that at, what, 31?
16? Well, yeah, 31.
You're
but
31.
yeah.
But, to have a full mental grasp of that and stuff, a lot of people, they hit the full regret before they have a full understanding of that. And yeah, you already have enough experience through all of what you've done to kind of have that. And hopefully somebody can absorb that. We were talking about being the example of what you needed when you were younger, and you can kind of provide that to other people is kind of what you were saying.
Yeah.
Because it went back to gymnastics, and that's incredible. Like I always say, that our biggest purpose is to inspire. as coaches, as teachers, and stuff like that. That's one of my biggest things. So, sounds like you're knocking it out still, man.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
yeah. So, you did some other training today. You want to go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, bro. I'm starting a YouTube series. I think one of my goals for 2026 is YouTube.
Okay.
I've been around a lot of content creators in the last couple of years, and all of them have kind of said this thing like, when you're in a content creator, you're like a TikTok creator or an Instagram creator or a YouTube creator, and there's assets that contribute to each platform.
Right.
Everyone I know who's a successful content creator I spend time with is like, brother, you need to get on YouTube. You have so much to say. And 60 seconds, 90 seconds isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
The bar to entry on YouTube is very high.
Mm-hmm.
You need like the video editing is much harder. There's way more intricacies to know, but I have a strong message. So I started this series that I called Under the Glove, and it's kind of like just something I want to do, and it's kind of so it's got two purposes. One, I just want to train with cool people, and I want to put my friends on platforms. So what I'm doing is I'm going all over the world. Ideally, right now we're just Canada, U.S., but we get bigger. Go find these coaches, fighters, train with them, spar with them, have them teach me some shit, and then I do an interview because we were talking about like it's hard to relate to Sanchai,
Right.
We love him; he's a legend, but like I'm not him. I'll never be him, But showing people that these things that seem unobtainable are human. They're people, They're not David Goggins, You don't have to be like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm such an open book too. I don't want the old school mentality being like the mystique, untouchable, chi master bullshit. Like, nah, bro, I'm fallible. There's a kid in Thailand right now who's 10 years old who's better at Muay Thai than me. It's not my skill set, my talent. It's my ability. We're master communicators. We're master inspirers. It's about cues and sharing wisdom and experience. And what I do have, I have some skill. If I say what's Bruce Lee say, if I say I'm no good, I'm lying. If I say I'm good, you think I'm boasting.
I love that. Yeah. I absolutely love that saying.
Yeah, but there's that aspect, but like that's not. There's lots of motherfucking great Muay Thai motherfuckers. Lots of great jiu-jitsu motherfuckers that are not famous, that don't provide value. It's my ability to communicate and inspire.
I love that. That's actually I heard I think it was Kobe Bryant say the same thing. Kobe Bryant, Nipsey Hussle, like two of my favorite things, and a lot of people kind of pair them up. So kind of stuck with me too. So I like that, man. We're actually aligned in a lot of these ways. Like I know a lot of people that watch my podcast. They're gonna hear a lot of the same kind of messages and stuff. And I wanted to say, like when you're teaching the seminar, I know what you were teaching is very in line with how I teach, especially like the box step drill, how to fire off all the positions, staying offensively and defensively sound in every position, always staying in rhythm. These are all things I preach like from day one. Beating them with your first line of defense, which is eyes and footwork, stuff like that, man. So like we're very, I don't know, we clicked right away. So, and I think
100%.
that's why we're able to make this happen and make this so smooth.
Yeah, the more time we spend together, the more I'm like, oh, we're very, it's so interesting because we're very, very different and we're so aligned.
Yeah.
And that's the superpower, right? Like, yesterday we drove for like 3 hours. And I was like, oh, I could spend another 10 hours with this guy just talking.
Yeah.
Just like we talked all things, pop culture. You teach me pop culture shit because I don't know pop culture shit.
And
Muay Thai, yeah, all kinds of shit. I don't know if you're old, but maybe I'm just young. I like that better.
Yeah, there you go. You're young.
I got ID'd yesterday.
It's been a while for that one for me, but that's all right. So we were talking about how you were kind of late on Friday, right? It's funny because I was like kind of stressing. I'm like, fuck, man, I got a lot of stuff I got to do before you show up, and you're supposed to show up like 1-ish, and you're like, man, I didn't even get up, and I'm like still thinking like, I don't know, was that me 1:30, 2:30?
Yeah.
So when you were like, oh, I'm still like at the border, and it was like 1:30, I was like, I got everything done. I was like, all right, cool, fuck. So yeah, I was able to kind of relax a little bit, but like you said, like burnt toast.
Meant to be type shit.
Yeah, and we still linked up. We went and got some food, and we went and shot the content at the gym, which was a lot of fun. Got some good footage from that little sweep and telling everybody to come out. So, because you're a good amount smaller than me and fucking sweeping a big old dude. And I'm like, I'm older now. I was like, plop, fucking like a sack of potatoes. I'm like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming out and teaching that seminar. I know our students A lot of them follow you, um, and when they can kind of like see somebody in person and learn from them, and then continue to watch them, like watch their journey and stuff like that, like yours, and then what we were talking about doing, or like me and Crew Jones, is how to incorporate some of the stuff that you taught into next week's and the following couple of weeks curriculum for those who did attend. And when we have a little bit more of the footage back, I can sit there and bounce that back and forth, and hopefully help our students continue to learn from this seminar.
You make it your own, right? Like we had this conversation, like what are coaches now? In an age where all the information, bro, I can go learn from Superlick. I can go learn from Nico Carrillo, right? I can go learn from Liam Harris. What is a coach, right? One, it's a set of eyes to be like, because when you're watching Liam Harrison teach you, I love Liam Harrison, all respect, you know, one of my goats. I steal a lot from him. Is he's not there to tell you. Two, it's the filtering of information, right? Like the censorship is not what it used to be, where we don't have access to the information. Censorship is now we don't have the key to decode what's relevant and what's irrelevant, right? Which is kind of my fighting style, which we'll get into. But when we talk about like being a good coach, man, like the box step drill, I didn't invent that. I made it my own. You know, the box step drill when I learned it was like jab, cross, step, and like the step back uppercut or the switching stances. Like that's my own flavor on all the mentors I had before. And I think that's something that makes a really important coach. Like I have a group chat with a bunch of fighters, and like who goes to these seminars? You know, we weren't talking about my seminar. It was a seminar in another city, and I was like, I go and I write it off. And the reason I go is because we talked about never stop learning as a coach.
Right.
Never stop training as a coach, because and that's really hard in an industry where it's hard to make money. Where if you're not holding pads 34 hours a week or teaching 34 hours a week, and then you're in the gym all day, and then how much energy you have left to train. So a lot of these coaches don't train. And it's the sad reality of the industry is like, if I give advice to up and coming coaches, is learn to market and learn business.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, Paul Suki, shout out to him. He gave me a phone call because he was one of my first Muay Thai teachers. Because my karate sensei was like, "You're into Muay Thai. I want you to do it safe. Let's fly out to Alberta, Calgary, and you can train with him." Put me on game. He's like, it's so cool to see how much you've come along as a coach. And he goes, "I want to give you advice." It's like, learn business. You know. There's a lot of coaches out there that are some of the best coaches in the world that live on their homies' couches.
Yep.
You know, and it's the sad reality. Like, that's why you see people quote unquote sell out. You know, they're doing birthday parties at the gym, and they're just trying to feed their families.
Yep.
You know, it's so easy to point the finger and be like, this motherfucker sold out. Like, he's got a mortgage to pay. You know, and also like this old mindset of like, martial arts is elitist shit, right? Which I value. It exists, right?
Yeah.
You want to be a fighter, you have to fight. You ain't shit if you're not, because we're not quite civilian, and we're not quite military. We're not law enforcement. We're somewhere in between. It's very weird purgatory. But the people who need martial arts is not the motherfucker who wants to fight.
Exactly.
He'll be fighting no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? He'll fight in the street. He'll fight. Someone slaps his girl's ass, he's scrapping.
Yeah.
It's the 30-year-old girl that's never done a sport in her life. That's feeling self-conscious, doesn't know how to take up space, you know, that go like Faraz Zahabi has this thing, he's on Joe Rogan, he's like, you walk into a room full of people and you don't know how to fight, how do you feel?
Yeah, I love that. I know exactly the episode you're talking about.
That changed my life because I was like, that's why I trained, because I was scared as a kid, I was picked on as a kid, I didn't stand up for myself, and I was like, I don't remember the last time I felt scared. And the part of me that changed is like, I've been in combat, you know? My dad's like really like, well, be safe out there. I was like, Dad, I spent thousands of hours in hand-to-hand combat. I feel real confident. And even if it's like 10, like I'm gonna die fighting, like I'm comfortable with that. But to not feel that way, bro, everything I've ever done, social media, public speaking, bro, I'll go up at a karaoke bar, I'll do whatever because the confidence I built on the mats, because that's the most vulnerable, honest person. People talk about like Israel Adesanya talks about in the shower, you're most vulnerable. You're naked in the water. You're your most vulnerable when there's a 16-year-old, you're doing your first jiu-jitsu class, takes your ass down, sits on top of you, and you realize if this wasn't a game, he killed me.
Yeah.
He's 16, 120 pounds.
Yep. It's very humbling. Yeah. In a sense that I've never felt as well. So, yeah, man. Well, when you're doing your style of stuff, because I want to get back to like your talking about how your style is a little bit more unique. You
Mhm.
do a little more switching and stuff like that. What can you tell me about that? And like, how do you spar?
I spar super light. There's guys I trust,
Mm.
that we spar a little harder. Like I have a homie King. He's in Thailand right now. He's at Sitjafo. I've been off for a year and a half with the fungal infection, and I'm actually waiting for an MRI in a week now, an
Mm.
MRI to see because like I think I have like a surgery I need to do on my liver, So
Mm.
like I'm not 100%, but I love this. How do I keep doing it and keep my health? Me and him will bang comfortably.
Yes.
We're like, he had a broken nose and we were banging because he knows I'm not going to touch his nose if I don't have to touch his nose.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, my nose is broken, and we're still going. But stylistically, bro, I'm fragile, man. People think about like when your organs don't work, whether it's a kidney or a liver or your like the medication I take to survive is poison. All medicine is poison,
Right.
right? Anyone who gets prescribed a medicine, be like, I'm taking this poison that makes me worse, but it's gonna help this. Is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have no fucking choice because I die if I stop. I'm gonna stop for 2 weeks. Done. I go reject the organ. It's over. But that makes me frail, bro. That makes my joints frail. That makes my anything in the chain of your body that stops working. And so I developed this style where I was like, I'm probably not tougher than most people. I think the heart and spirit I have, it says it on the hoodie.
Yeah.
My body may break, my spirit doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I don't care how good your spirit is. I dislocate your knee, you can't walk,
Yeah.
no matter how bad you want it. And so I've developed this style that allowed me to be really avoiding. So I'm never in front of the person,
Mm-hmm.
which I sometimes lose attacks. That's what we work with Micah today. We're like, stay on the center line when you pull.
Mm-hmm.
The switching stance is like I call it government style. Controversial take. I hide the relevant information to see irrelevance.
Yeah.
What that means is like I move. What I do there? What I do here?
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing so much movement and rhythm change and feints. You don't know what's real.
Yeah.
Right? It becomes this weird matrixy thing. It's kind of like something I land a lot is like I'll stay in orthodox and I'll switch my shoulder here. Boom. Now my power hand is like 2 feet closer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I can use it as a jab.
Yep.
And that style is very, very pretty, which is great for Instagram. It's great for what I do. If I had to get in a ring and fight against a guy of my skill level that had a Muay Thai, Muay Mat style, I'd lose. What I mean? And that's how you beat a guy like me. Anyone who's got like a really tricky guy, we talk about the initiator counter. If I'm just trying to feint you out, I'm getting you to react to what I do. Just don't react. Go first.
Yeah.
That kills my game, bro. I just gave you the kryptonite to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why sometimes higher level athletes do worse against me than someone who's been training for 3 months. It's just like, ah! And you get caught with weird shit.
So it's kind of funny you say that because when we talk about being the aggressor, just go first or just beat them. Like, there's a ton of ways to word that, but I think when you do that, that's when people escalate. Because they're like, oh, now you're trying to win. You're trying to win the round. So, like, if that's what I'm trying to do, I don't try to go too hard, but I definitely find myself in that role, in that position. Like, oh, the little tricky stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, now I'm going to go first, and now I'm just going to win or win the round, essentially. But try to do it controlled, but you definitely see the struggle, the back and forth, right?
But I
See
could
things
tell
get escalated.
when you're trying to hurt me and when you're just going fast.
100%. But I could tell when I'm picking it up a little bit and they're picking it up a little bit and I'm picking it up. And so now hopefully we can spar comfortably, like you said with your buddy. Like I have a bunch of my students I can do. There are a handful that I can do that with. But then you get the people that are still kind of up and coming and they have like a lot of the good parts about how to strike, maybe good technique or whatever, but not the level of control that you need. Or you see people that are like higher skill level and been doing it for a long time, but they don't practice enough to have the control that they're going to need. So when they throw, if it lands heavy, if they throw and it lands to the wrong spot, like below the belt or like or something like that, it's like you're not executing or you're not exercising the other side of the martial art or the control. You're just executing for yourself at this point, and I call it being greedy.
Yeah. Being greedy is a good word for it. And there's so many ways someone really put into perspective was this MMA guy I used to work with, and he was a really, really good grappler and a weird striker, but like not afraid, so it was hard to deal with. and he hated that tricky style because like he doesn't have any extra tools in the tool belt.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like we have extra tools. If I'm losing something, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
When you have limited weapons and they're not that sharp, he's like, and I was like, bro, you're trying to knock me out. And he's like, I'm not trying to knock you out. I'm a fighter and I'm trying to catch you. And the only thing I have is to throw harder and faster. You know what I mean? Like I don't have other I can't pull out my other weapons. And I was like, oh shit, like you're not trying to hurt me. You're just. It was like a real shifting moment for me.
Mhm. Yeah, you can kind of see that as it's going to escalate either way, even if it's controlled. But to always say like to in the beginning, for a lot of people, the speed and power and technique are all kind of blended into one because you're just trying to accomplish like learning that jab, right? You're trying to really throw your body into it. That's why like pad work and partner work is so important. Drilling on the bag. I always make these little jokes like if you can't hit somebody light enough, like you're gonna feed a baby, then maybe you shouldn't be sparring. Like we've got all ages. We got 14-year-old kids fighting 50-year-old dudes. You know what I mean? Like Crew Jones, fucking multiple time North American champion, all this stuff. Sparring like little 14-year-old Riley, you know, and it's always a mismatch. It's not like you can always, at least in our environment, we don't separate sparring. We let everybody spar together, but we ask the higher levels to control themselves. And if we see somebody going too hard, like that's where we step in and we draw them out. And it still happens, like damage happens, but this is also
Fighting.
It's a fucking combat sport, you know.
You're gonna learn to swim without getting wet, you know.
Right, exactly. And you know, you see everything happen from people breaking down and crying, you know, and taking off. I've seen men and women, you know,
That's an important part. That's an important part of fighting.
Being like facing that
Learning
adversity.
Learning that, bro. We talked about in the seminar. It's all about your emotional control, right? We talk about that zone of proximal learning, that like 80% success rate.
Yes.
As you get better, you can fall into 50% success rate without going into your reptilian brain and just get the fuck away from me.
Right.
You know.
Okay with being okay with losing.
Yeah. So
losing that round or something.
I got a little nephew. You know.
Yeah.
He wants the cookie.
Okay.
You say no. You have to eat dinner.
Mm-hmm.
The waterworks, freaking out, throw himself on the floor, and I was like, I feel the same way when I want a cookie, and I'm like, no, I have to have dinner. I know what it's like.
Right.
So I can control. It's like getting punched in the face. First time you get punched in the face, your eyes water, your ears ring. You're like, what? But now it's like I've been here before. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It's nothing new. You have the experience.
Yeah.
Yep. It's always funny. Like you just made that reference. My first class, I got put in against a girl, and she was like actually pretty good. So, and I'm supposed to hold the gloves out like Dutch style drills. Yeah. And Crew Jones was like, "You're embarrassing me. What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know." She's like, coming at me. I'm like, "The fuck do I do here, dude? Like, I haven't experienced this yet."
Yeah.
And so obviously now it's like nothing, but you see it just in those little flinches when I teach like fundamentals, and just like, oh. And they're like, "Oh my god!" Like almost got hit, and like, no, this is the time where I'm not going to hit you. Yeah. If you're holding pads or holding gloves, create a bigger distance, hold it in front of your face, so at the same angle, not out here. This is not keeping you safe. This is better to keep you safe. But yeah, you see that lack of experience kind of come into play a lot, and finding that kind of emotional control that you're talking about. A lot of people never do. That emotional control or lack thereof kind of beats them, takes them out.
I mean, you either stay on the path or you get the fuck off.
Right.
If you stay on the path, you learn it.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, there's one dude that I was talking to. He has hair like you, but he was bald like Tongpo. Yeah. So like baldy dreads or something. And he would come in and he was like, "Oh, I trained in Thailand." We're like, "Okay." And then he starts. And we're like, "You mean you're in Thailand and went to a gym? Like you didn't, you know what I mean? Like, anyway." But he was dangerous because he's swinging for the fence. And for people that are a beginner or people like, I know when somebody clubs me on a heavy defense and it still rocks me, you know what I mean? Like, all right, now I know this guy's actually, he's not going to control me, but if I don't control the situation, I could be that guy. Like we were talking about, like the going into like a lower level organization or something, and a lose thing, like I could drop them and be like, yeah, you're a fucking
Okay, I didn't know
you're
you
a
were going
fucking
there, yeah.
coach. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is you beat up somebody you shouldn't have, or you're a coach and you got fucking dropped by somebody you shouldn't have.
Because anybody could drop you.
Right. You know, and anybody can make a mistake. And we've been doing this long enough, it doesn't mean we don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, I get punched all the time. Crew Jones, who you met, he will fucking walk forward with his hands down and be like, punch me. So he can sit there and counter hard. Yeah. So it's funny because one of our other guys, Liam, I was like, I'm going to Crew Jones you this round. So I'm going to have you, because he doesn't know how to, like, punch and get out of the way or do anything. So I'm like, you're going to get to initiate contact, but I'm going to blast you if you're still in the fucking way. About the third or fourth punch, he got the picture, and he was executing better at that point. So, but we had tried to overcome that obstacle so many times, but it's mainly in sparring that things got difficult, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
You know what I think we should talk about is, we've been talking about this all weekend, you know?
Yeah.
New school Muay Thai, the politics of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
You know, one of the reasons I talk about on the podcast is, one, I want to clip it, because you know, anyone who has an audience, they have haters. I mean, just the tax you pay for success. But the thing about comment sections, you can't defend yourself.
Right.
And I think I'm a firm believer of, like, why do you do what you do?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a reason, and I can't break your reason in 3 questions, then I let you explore, right? The ecological aspect. Muay Thai is evolving, whether people like it or not.
Yep.
What's your take on how Muay Thai is evolving?
That's actually a really good question. My dog's driving me nuts right now.
It's all good, bro.
So what do I think about the evolution of Muay Thai right now is, so we always say, like, the one constant is change. Like, change is just always going to happen. You can like it or not. You can maintain your, like, a rigid stance on it and still be valid. You know, you can be adaptable and flexible and be valid. There's something that I can't remember who said it, but the pie is big enough for all of us to have a piece.
100%.
You know, some people are gonna like the global rules, 1FC style with the 4-ounce fucking gloves like they use in MMA. For Muay Thai, you know, and I like that actually. Like, that's something like, wow, you're seeing, and I can get deep on this for just a moment, but you're seeing people get more knockouts, which in Muay Thai, like, punches weren't really scored.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in the gambling culture. If you're trying to do the traditional style and you're watching people fill themselves out for the first round or two or whatever, and then the bets kind of really start going, and you see somebody with heavy hands, 1 or 2 punches ends the fight, it doesn't get to those high-level gambling stakes. So you're not going to score them as high. Like, why are you punching if it's not a score? So I think it takes things out of that sport aspect, even though it's a gambling aspect. But like, if you look at Taekwondo and the susceptibility it has to, like, maybe people not having a higher guard for punching or not getting kicked in the legs for certain things, or like karate, you know, or old school karate. It takes away the limitations in a lot of aspects, and I really think that the big reason that MMA did so well when that first started is because the gloves are so small. You're able to do so many things like that. You don't have these big puffies that make it a little bit more unrealistic, as if I'm being honest.
That's why gloves were created. I don't know if you know this. Gloves were created to make fights last longer.
Pretty sure that makes sense, yeah. Like, otherwise you see the old leather strap that go around the knuckles. It's like, yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's not a skill versus skill, right? It's who touches who first.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a part of the sport. But, like, I think the thing about Muay Thai evolving is, you know what the beauty is? We all get a vote.
Yeah.
Because it's all based on capitalism. It's all based on money. It's all based on audience and attention. So you don't like the 4-ounce gloves, don't watch it, you know? Mm-hmm. But my argument is, like, if you're hating on Evolution, but Saenchai is your favorite fighter, you would have hated Saenchai 30 years ago.
Yep.
You know? Or you would have been the guy that hates Muay Thai because Muay Baran is for war. What is this? This is a show. We don't do this, you know?
Yeah.
People hate change, you know? And that's, like, my number one feedback I want to get to people that are like, oh, but this isn't Muay Thai, you know? Or, like, you need to run every day. Brother, we have all the science in the fucking world on why you do not run every day.
Yeah.
We have all the science in the world
I
on
like
why
my
we don't
knees
do
when
that.
they feel healthy.
Yeah, I don't need to run every day, and it's not even gonna help my cardio that much. And I'm gonna be. Why would I put more stress on the joints that are taking so much damage? Yes, running has its place, and then the ultimate argument: such and such did it. Yes, they were champions despite that,
Right.
right?
Yeah, they
Um,
overcame that as an obstacle.
yeah, like, do you know the history of Tabata protocol?
No.
Interval training.
Mhm.
Japan came to the
Never heard of it.
Olympics and cleaned up.
Mhm.
I don't remember if it was speed skating or sprinting or both, or they cleaned up and just won gold, gold, gold. And everyone's like, Japan, how, what? And they're like, this is what we did.
Mhm.
We created interval training. We figured out the science behind it. Now, interval training is like a golden standard for all athletes.
Yep.
Right? And it's weird because like fighting is so primal, we almost like disregard the science. It's like, we're gonna scrap, you know?
Right. There's something to that, but yeah.
There's no NBA ball player that's like, no S&C, just play ball. You know?
Right.
There's
Exactly.
no NFLer that's like, I'm not in the weight room. I'm just gonna play ball.
Yeah.
You know? Like arguments like
You want to
get
get
good
better
at fighting.
Muay Thai?
Just fight.
Just do Muay Thai. Yeah.
No, there's more to the equation. There's more to that, and like people need to get that.
Yeah. There's a science behind physiology, and human anatomy, even just that. And so understanding like just fatigue and recovery, and there's so much. And we talked about like, I think it was on Friday, like what was something that I could have done differently that I would have chosen. I would have chosen to recover better. I would have chosen to sleep more, like 4 or 5 hours a night, and like doubling down on training. That's not good.
It's the number one answer. And sleep is steroids, bro. Sleep is, you want to go do gear? Fucking sleep.
Yeah.
With my health issue for a year and a half, I have not been able to sleep. I was sleeping like a couple cat naps, and it's been fucked. And I know it affected my health. There's nothing I could do. They gave me sleeping pills, and I was taking these, and I was like, this is not. And I take ADHD medications. Like, I don't want to be this guy taking uppers and downers. And so I stopped, and I just didn't sleep. And I don't know what changed. Something changed. It was like, I slept through the night. And it was like, I slept through the night again. I slept through the night again. It's been so long. And I was like, man, I was going through life as a zombie. But the recovery, weird things. Like, I have all these, like, flat warts on my face before. I had all these, like, imperfections on my arms. And, dude, that started going away. My eyes were yellow for a long time. My eyes were white. And I was like, whoa, when you're tired, and you're just tired all the time, so you don't know. It's the idea of, like, the frog in boiling water. Mm. You were walking around with 100 pounds strapped to you. I was moving through life like I was moving through maple syrup. Just got a week of good night's sleep, and I was like, oh, like it was almost like I had Alzheimer's. Like I just repeat myself, and I would like just stare off while someone's talking to me.
Yeah, I mean that's that common sleep deprivation. Like I've definitely experienced that. Like these things don't fucking help. These are just a little Band-Aid for like a couple hours, But I don't know. We're both kind of in that state right now. We're like, fuck, both beat. But what you said earlier, to be tired in the pursuit of something you love, But
how blessed we are.
Yeah, man. Actually, I wanted to say one more thing about the evolution.
Yeah. Please, let's continue on that topic.
Yeah. The evolution of Muay Thai, like you're gonna get that, and you're gonna find a level playing ground, right? So, like, let's say like ONE FC kind of like does better because of that, or gets like more global attention because of the small gloves and because of the explosiveness of a lot of the adaptation versus the slow start. You're gonna see people that do the old school style really well and new school style really well. You're gonna see them clash and then have epic wars. You're gonna see them go in and one beat the other handily. And what I like to refer to is kind of that any given Sunday thing for football. So I don't know if you know that concept, but it's like the any given Sunday, they're going to beat you or you're going to beat them. And in fighting, you got 3 rounds, maybe 5, you know what I mean? Or whatever. It's a very short thing. And it's like no 2 fights are the same, even if it's the same 2 people in a rematch. It's not like you get another try or you get a specific record to get to a playoff position. You get to keep trying. A lot of times, like the closest to that, and it's not even close, is like tournament fighting, like a 8-man tournament. But at the same time, you and I have a fight that's a fucking war.
You're compromised.
Guys over here have a fight that's nice and light, or a quick knockout, boom, and this guy's unscathed after you went into a war. That next fight's not going to be even. You're destroyed. And so the heart of the fighter, the willpower, like no 2 situations are exactly the same. And to have more evolution around that, the way like MMA has kind of evolved and kind of leveled the playing field on a lot of the old school, like, oh, this is ancient secret. Like, I got the glowing palm, you know, fucking, I'm going to take you out, you know? Yeah. I'm going to Kamehameha you. Like, we talk about one of our guys call him Mortal Kombat. The first thing he tries to do in a fight was this, and he got fucking cracked with a left hook.
Oh.
Like, by a guy that trains. And it's like, this guy's doesn't really train. I'm like, come on.
Just watch that highlight reel.
He didn't get it. Well, he got highlighted.
He got highlighted.
Yeah.
Highlight or die.
Is that Michael Chandler?
I don't know who said that, but I love it. Highlight or die. Mike, there's a 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu guy that says that. No, I think what we're talking about is so important. So we talked about this on the weekend as well. What the UFC does so well, and I love the UFC. I know a lot of Muay Thai guys don't like MMA. Is it's the closest thing to a real fight without like eye pokes, eye gouges, weapons, you know?
Yeah.
Where like, when you do an MMA fight as like a high-level Muay Thai guy and understand that this guy who's been wrestling for a year can take you down and strangle you, and no elbows, no kicks, no clean. You know, I remember the first time I fought with a wrestler. He wasn't even a wrestler. He kind of wrestled. I was like, I'm just going to knee him in the face. It's not how that works.
Didn't work out
right?
well,
And then I ended up with a guy on top of me for 4 minutes. I get back up.
That knows what they're doing.
Barely knew, just a little more than me.
But still.
Zero striking, outstriking me because I'm so gassed from trying to get my ass up back up. You know how embarrassing that is? And I was like, oh, I'm vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. So a lot of people are like trying to gatekeep Muay Thai, right? Because they don't want... Karate and Taekwondo are clowned upon so much because in the 80s, everyone opened a Taekwondo karate school.
Yep.
And maybe I'm wrong with this, but I was told the history of the black belt was this, right? The Meiji Restoration was like, oh, there's money to be made in martial arts. I'm gonna take my horse, go a town over, take a class, go back. I'm a great sensei. I'm gonna teach a class. I'm just gonna repeat what he taught me, right? And then telephone happened. So then they were like, we're giving black belts to true instructors. Now, most people put their kids in martial arts. I want my kid to learn discipline. I want my kid to be safe. And karate and taekwondo didn't have the fight aspect that Muay Thai does. And so karate used to be badass, right? Like Faraz Zahabi talked about, we sent 3 karate guys in the 80s to Lumpini, and 2 of them won against Thai guys.
Yep.
That would never happen today because it's now like this daycare thing, and people are scared that's going to happen in Muay Thai, which I understand because it is. It's getting diluted. Everyone's a Muay Thai coach, you know. I know lots of guys, and I can't point the finger. When I started coaching Muay Thai, I sucked. You know, it's been like 12 years, maybe not. I don't know how long it's been, but you know, in that span. So I can't point the finger and be like, you suck. I sucked when I started. And it is watering down the sport, but like we want to be mainstream because that's how we can fight for a living. That's how we're coaches that aren't broke, you know, living on homies' couches, and like you're fighting change. You're standing in front of a tsunami trying to stop it. Do your best you can to keep the art real, and the fighting aspect will keep us honest because we fight so much. Yeah. Right? If you can't scrap, and you know what? There's great coaches that are probably not great fighters, as we talked about. And so can you produce fighters, but you have to take a chance on that person. And I think what we need to get with Muay Thai is, I don't know anyone that watches Muay Thai that doesn't train in North America. Thailand's a different story. But even from what I'm hearing in Thailand is like these young kids coming up, they want to play soccer. They don't want to do Muay Thai.
Right.
It's hard.
They want to go have fun.
Yeah. I want to play soccer. I want to be a soccer player. I want to be a soccer star. I don't want to get punched in the face. Yeah, that sounds reasonable unless you're fucked up like us. But the whole point is like, I went to the UFC event in New York, and all my friends are fighters. That's where I spend my time, meet my people at the gym. So I'm like, everybody watches this fight. So I'm like, there's 100,000 people in Madison Square Garden. We all fight. Realizing, I've never thrown a punch in my life. I just like this. Nobody does that for Muay Thai. Nobody does that for Jiu-Jitsu. No one's watching CGI. No one's watching wrestling unless you do those arts. And when you're talking about the new school versus the old school, it has the question. That's what was so intriguing about UFC Pride Days, right? Yeah. Oh, we have a sumo wrestler. We have a Muay Thai fighter. Who's going to win?
That's my golden era. I'm like, the Pride era.
Who's gonna win, right? Yeah. The sumo wrestler, this is a Krav Maga master.
And they fucking go hard back then.
Yeah, and they're arguing in a different language. It can go any way. And that's what I like about the 4-ounce gloves. I like, it's so dystopian, but the fight circus thing. Right. Where we're just gonna, like, I love this ideal of like a fight promotion where we spin a wheel. What kind of gear are we gonna wear? 4-ounce gloves and shin pads. What are the rules set? We spin a wheel. What's the arena? A basketball court, a phone booth, a car. Because that's the true essence of combat. It's the true essence of martial arts. It's the artist of the martial, of military, of self-defense, of violence. Maybe I can fight great in a ring. Maybe I can't fight in an alley.
Exactly.
Maybe I can't fight in a phone booth. The jiu-jitsu car fight stuff. Where they're in a car and they start doing jiu-jitsu,
that's wild. Yeah.
I mean, if your Muay Thai is that good, out Muay Thai the guy in 4 ounces. If the guy can beat you in 4 ounce gloves, your Muay Thai is not that good. Or you need to adapt your Muay Thai. Bro, if we're doing a Muay Thai fight, it's a traditional, it's Lumpini, and I'm bouncing, and I do a spinning wheel kick and knock you out. I won the Muay Thai fight.
Mm-hmm.
Is a spinning wheel kick part of Muay Thai? Probably not traditionally. Did it work in the rule set of Muay Thai? Good. We talked about the canvas, right? If you want to give an artist an opportunity to create art, you don't go any color, any medium, videography, photography, paint, pottery, do it.
Yeah.
Here's the platform. You are allowed to use red, blue, green. You have this skateboard I want you to paint. You're these brushes. Art happens.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'd love to see an organization, and maybe we're the ones that do it, where it's like, you spin a wheel, we boxing. Cool. How long's the round? 10 minutes. Boom, we go. Oh, what's next? Oh, MMA round, 1 minute round, left way round. Like, because then you found out.
I love that. Yeah.
Can you fight, bro? Can you
Fighting in
fight?
the front seat of front seat of my truck.
Yeah. On the back of a moving
No
truck,
fucking wheelchairs. I give a fuck.
Yeah. Or like my favorite, and like it's so dystopian. It's like we're gonna take 4 pro Muay Thai guys. They're all 135ers. We put 2 of them in a t-shirt that's extra large. One guy gets one leg and one arm. The other guy gets one leg and one arm. And let's see what. Like, I love that idea of like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It's art, brother. It's. Yeah.
It's well. Now here's a bit of a take. Art is always viewed, right? Like, to be art, you need viewers. Like, let's say a traditional like art gallery or something like that. You're gonna have viewers. You're gonna have your appraisers. You're gonna have critics. You're gonna have people that are willing to buy, people that are not, all that kind of stuff. So, and I think that's what kind of provides a value long term, because there's, let's say something's valuable now, but like it goes out of trend. You know what I mean? Then it comes back into value. So like we've talked about Taekwondo and karate. Like that's something that in the 80s and stuff like that is very popular, like you said. That's all that was in my area. Like you can go to Taekwondo, or I think there was a Hapkido also. So
kind of karate. That's
right,
Japanese Korean.
Right. Well, yeah. So I'm saying is, but there was one in a little strip mall right up the road. So there's really no qualifier. So like you're watching Karate Kid, you know what I mean? I never knew that shit was illegal to win that way. You know what I mean? And so it's like Bruce Lee, he's not fighting any sort of traditional stuff. It's out, So when you're starting to see like all these other martial arts, and you have all this argument like what's gonna win, the way that it does become bigger, especially like with the UFC as the example, or and mainly MMA, is that like again it provides that level playing field, but everybody's had to adapt, and so these adaptations that are coming inside of Muay Thai, it's still Muay Thai, it's an adaptation, but like you said, it's going to bring more worldwide validation, I think, and there's going to be people willing to branch out of just this MMA thing and do Muay Thai. Now, here's kind of my thing, is that America is getting bigger quickly with Muay Thai. In a way that not as quickly as like MMA did. But MMA had a great platform in the UFC, mainstream as fuck.
Amazing marketing. Some of the best marketers on the planet.
No outlet like that solely inside of America, that operates inside America at that sort of frequency and that sort of level and marketing. And that is, I think, something that is untapped.
It's going to happen.
And it's going to happen. And that's why a moment ago you're like, maybe we're the ones to do it, or like, somebody will.
Yeah.
If not me, who?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And a ton of us as individuals have voices, but who's willing to come together and create something that's solid and like take that head on? Because other places have, like, I remember Lion Fight. They were doing a great job inside the U.S. Remember Glory did a really.
How many people watched that didn't train?
None, probably.
I mean, there's some,
7.
but like, you know what I mean? Like 7. So just a precise 7, but like, that's a serious thing, man. Like, how do we get? I still have this conversation. Like, it blows my mind. What is Muay Thai? I'm a Muay Thai coach. I don't even tell people I'm a Muay Thai coach anymore. When like a stranger asks what I do, like I teach martial arts and fitness. Because people are like, Muay Thai, what? You know?
Yeah, that's getting better, but I kind of like. I used to hate that. I'm like, well, it's Muay Thai, kickboxing. I embrace it now because of the fact that I started the Sway City Muay Thai. So
Yeah.
it's like I get to again, educator. Now
Yeah.
I get to educate in something that's not my regular platform. So I get to
Yeah.
educate a person outside of that.
But a
Even
lot of
if
those
they're
people
just
don't care, man. A lot of those people.
no, agreed. But or maybe right there they don't care.
Yeah, you're right. I was
And
wrong to say that.
and then they go and I'm going over to my buddy's house to watch UFC. And like, what the fuck is Muay Thai? I heard somebody telling me about Muay Thai. Okay, pop, pop, pop. Now they're on their phone or never know,
The UFC is making Muay Thai more popular. Pratas, who just knocked out Leon Edwards, Muay Thai tattooed across his chest.
bro. I'm saying,
Pantoja across his forehead. Like, like, and Brazilian Muay Thai is different. It doesn't look like Dutch Muay Thai, American Muay Thai, Thai Muay Thai. And it's the art piece, man. And so many people want to put shit in a box.
Yeah.
And they get mad. It's not in the box in my head that it's supposed to be in.
Thank you for saying that. Now I think about this all the time when it comes to sparring. Outside of Thailand, who the fuck spars light like Thailand?
I mean, we try.
We try, but but we're trying to emulate that style, right? We're trying to emulate Muay Thai in Thailand, and even they are adapting, right? So when people are like, "Oh, we're gonna spar nice and light," I'm like, because our gym is known for sparring hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I may be contributing to that a little bit, but I came up under that, so
Yeah.
I don't know any different. I try to go light. I try to be respectful and do my best. But anyway, this is America. We get a lot of Western boxing mixed in with stuff, and that goes really well with Dutch kickboxing, right? Or adding in like your version of American Muay Thai with heavy Western boxing. Big fan of Kevin Ross. He really did that well and paired the two, in my opinion. And when you see you're gonna, in my opinion, if you strictly train very light, like how they do in Thailand, you're like, oh no, and we don't fight at that frequency.
We don't fight all the time.
Yeah, and now because of that, a lot of people do leave their brains on the canvas. You know what I mean, and never come back and never hit those fucking. Even fight number 5 where you get to start branching out and seeing who you are as a fighter. Outside of just cardio and trying to not freak out and do all those like baby beginner shit. But what it really boils down to, well, I don't know. There's a lot of little things like that, but I'm losing my train of thought because I'm fucking tired as shit.
It happens, bro.
But there's something else. Just outside of Thailand, like we're not sparring as hard as maybe like real fights and stuff, but we are trying to emulate what we're going to do in the next 6, 8, 12 weeks and be prepared for that. And if somebody's going to hit me hard, I need to have a defense that's strong enough. Like we talked about the balance and the strength of stance in Muay Thai. If you don't know that and nobody's ever really tested that strength, by the time you do spar somebody that kicks a little hard, and be like, oh shit, you're going too hard. And you're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And be like, oh, this is how they do in Muay Thai. I'm like, well, this is fucking America. This is not Thailand. And that's kind of my approach to sometimes. And so like when we get like a Taekwondo fighter or a karate guy or a boxer or something, I'm like, well, this is fucking Muay Thai. And even when some of our fighters have a kickboxing fight and I still train Muay Thai, I'm like, I should dial it down because that's what they need. Sometimes I still throw Muay Thai style, in there. So.
It gives them a different look. And here's the beauty of coaching, is we're still figuring out. There's no one right way because there's no one type of athlete. And we're just experimenting. Right? Like, I always say, why do we have so many tools? Just in your gym, kick pads, this, double in bag, speed bag, heavy bag, banana bag, wall bag, uppercut, it's because you want to emulate fighting because you can't just have 1,000 fights. You have to learn to emulate and sharpen specific weapons at a time. But there's gyms that all they do is hard spar and their guys do well. And there's athletes that'll thrive in that environment and not that environment. And I have like a nerd out about strength and conditioning. Because of my health, because I want to be the best performer I can be, I really dive into the science. And I ask, I coach strength and conditioning, and I ask some of my strength and conditioning coaches, how did you figure out what worked? And they're like, well, it's the Shuhari thing. Like, I learned the rules, and then I experimented with my guys. The experience had to, and they had to be green. They had to make mistakes. They had to make mistakes with their athletes, and it's just the price we pay to develop. It's like a tattoo, right? Like I have a tattoo on my knee done by one of my favorite people in the world. It was an apprentice tattoo. It looks like an apprentice tattoo. I love it to bits. But he had to do that to be able to do some of the other work on me that's absolutely incredible.
Right.
So that's the thing, man. Like everybody wants to like point the finger. When you point the finger, it's 3 fingers point back.
I love that saying.
Right?
Yep.
And we're all wrong about something, bro. The calf kick shit, bro. I was so adamant. I heard Dream Killer Bolano say that shit, and I was like, he's right. Nobody's ever going to calf kick me unless we're doing MMA rounds. And then I watched Smoking Joe Nottawa.
Yeah.
I watched Tom Kong TKO someone in a Muay Thai fight for a title with calf kicks.
Hey, bro. All I'm gonna say is, all those are great examples, but it don't work on me.
I just see red, bro.
I see. No, so there's one guy at our gym. He's Jacob. He's real tall. He throws these like little shitty calf kicks, and anytime I step in, I'm like, he's dropped me with calf kicks.
Yeah.
I'm like, that shit hurts. I'm like, you son of a bitch. And so like I start throwing leg kicks. And he's like, he's a big dude with heavy and fast hands. So I just start whooping on his legs. He don't like it. It's just hilarious. But I'm like, you son of a bitch. But I'm like, hot take, calf kicks don't work on me, even though it works on all the best guys. But it's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, bro. I ate my words when I made that video. And I made a video being like, guys, I was wrong.
Calf kicks just by joking about it.
Yes,
Watch.
Yeah, when someone's watching this right now, I'm like, I'm gonna kick the fuck out of
you.
Luke, let's say Nico Carrillo.
The whole time I was saying that, that's what I was thinking. And then Nico had to switch stance and and so again, stylistically, who's right and who's wrong? Going back to like traditional Muay Thai, you see Nico Carrillo, even though Scottish, very composed, very dialed, right? And that's my style. It's like fucking Iceman, ice cold, no mistakes, right? Not that I actually execute that well. Like I watch myself in video and I'm like, bro, stop covering your neck, cover your face. I'm like
pulling back your right hand, like fuck.
Yeah.
I swear.
Well, no, that's why I stay nice and square unless I gotta. But anyway, yeah. But then Luke, the chef, fucking flowy and stuff like that.
Style.
And I can't. And not that I can't stand it. It's not my style. He does it so well. I can't tell people not to do it. You know what I mean? And so I've got a couple examples of that. Like Joe Rogan was talking to Dominic Cruz on the podcast, and I heard him say that. And we had a guy from Brian Popejoy's gym up at ours for a while from Boxing Works, Darren Smith Jr. Shout out to my dog. He was, I think, at one point ranked like number 1 or number 3 in MMA in all of California. Fucking really good dude, short dude. Hits like a fucking Mack truck, and he's about your size. Boom, boom, boom. Super heavy volume, small and compact. He fights everyone with his hands down. He walks forward like this.
Like that Lineker guy.
Yeah, well, I call him Balrog. But yeah, from Street Fighter. But yeah, man, fucking, I would be like, I wouldn't tell anybody to fight like you. He switches stance in a little bit and stuff. But he does it so well, and he's rocking full. So it's like, that's like kind of the wild card of what we do. It's like anybody can do anything. You do it well, fucking do it well. Go for it.
Because back to Shuhari, right? The path to mastery is like you're disciplined and you listen.
Mm-hmm.
How you start asking questions. You start asking questions because, and I'm so big, and I think that's why I have a following, is I like to explain why. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm so big about explaining why is because if someone give me an answer about why I'm wrong something and they've said it better than me, I'll change my mind. I'm willing to change my mind.
You have to be.
And that's how you develop your own style. And I love that about Dominic Cruz. I remember someone talking about, like, if I look at a silhouette of Dominic Cruz.
That was him. That was Joe Rogan talking about that.
Right?
Yeah. I know exactly who that is. Yeah.
I see a silhouette of Sancha. I know who it is.
Yeah. Luke Leslie is another one.
Yeah, and I want to be like that. Mm-hmm. I want it to be so, like, if I edit my reel and I change the body type, I take away the dreads, you're like, yo, that's Koifish. When
you were shadowboxing in the ring, in the cage at COGA last night, I was shooting the video, and I was just like, you do have like your very specific style. I mean, and a lot of us do, but you know how like the difference between like actual good shadowboxing and like just getting my shoulders kind of loose and stuff. See a lot of people like rely on one versus the other, and you're doing like a legit shadowboxing. But yeah, you do have a very specific style.
And that was the goal.
Yeah. And it works.
It's my art, man.
Even if it hasn't caught on like them yet.
Yeah, and you know what? It'll never be me that puts it on. Maybe it'll be one of my students, you know? Or
Right.
maybe it's just the content. Like, I don't know. But man, like, it's my art.
Mm-hmm.
It's my art, and like, I want it to, you know? Van Gogh was famous because it's a Van Gogh. I look at a Van Gogh, I know that's Van Gogh. I look at Picasso, I know it's Picasso.
Yeah.
I want it to be the same with martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Which leads to the next question. How do you define art?
Ooh, how do I define art? By I would so I'll say it by not defining art.
Okay.
Art is whatever you call it. You know what I mean? You can be artistic in being a mechanic. You can be artistic in the way you go about you being a mundane job. You know what I mean? You can be artistic in the way you think about going about your job. It's all in the creator. You know, and everybody's a creator on some level. You know, Chris is over here as a fucking baller ass fucking creator in his own right, doing this sort of stuff. This guy's got the best vision. Like I'm like, he does like I can't hold this candle. This guy, fucking, he has the vision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the guy on camera. How's that?
He
You tell me what to do.
To be you, right? Art amplifies art, and part of why I asked the question, and I always steal this because, you know, Basil's Jay. I go see him, you know, when I go back to Toronto, Ontario, and we always, his wife was always like, man, y'all just never shut up. The two of me will sit there and like philosophize, you know.
That's what everyone says when they watch my podcast. They're like, when is this gonna end?
Yeah.
Like, this is good, but it's long.
Yeah. That's why we clip it, you know. That's why we clip it.
On YouTube.
But yeah, we philosophize this thing where he's like, what is art, you know? And I was like, okay, well, to me, the word I identify more than fighter, more than anything else, is artist, you know? Because to me, an artist is an alchemist, is someone who takes emotion, who takes experience, who takes trauma and transmutes it to something so you can understand it.
Yeah.
That's my take on what art is.
I like that.
And he goes, great. He goes, if you're a painter, your medium is paint. If you're a potter, your medium is clay. We're a martial artist. What is our medium? And I was like, oh, movement, violence, footwork, punches.
Okay.
What the? Oh shit!
Combat.
There's no other, you know. And like that's a real interesting question. It's like one of those like Zen riddles where I ponder that all the time. Where it's like, you know, I think Sensei Richard Kim was like, martial artists are the artists of life. You know?
I like that.
And I really, these full circle moments, right? Like my dad always asked me, he's like, man, why you spend so much money on tattoos and shit? And I was like, because the only thing I'll ever leave behind is this body. When my spirit or soul leaves this body, what's gonna be left behind is my remains, right? And let's say I get frozen in ice somehow. I don't know what happened. Frozen in ice.
They're trying it.
Yeah. They find me 1,000 years from now, and they look and they see, oh, bro, this guy's got thick thighs. You know, this guy's, you know, got some cauliflower. This guy's got, you know, and everything has a meaning, and it's the canvas left behind from what I've done, from the life I've lived. You know, we decorate our temples with all the stories and lessons. I do the same with tattoos, why they're so meaningful to me. The dreadlocks, like I got scars. I got big scars, you know. They're the story I leave behind. It's that ultimate last piece of art I leave behind. Yeah, man. So that's how I look at it. The artists of life, we're martial artists. And being coaches, we're decorating other people's lives. We're shaping other people's lives.
Yeah. I like that. That's it's interesting you saying that. It was kind of reminding me of like I used to like work on cars all the time, and that's very similar. Like how do you build your car? It's very uniquely like how you like to see it. Like you see all these other examples of what's out there. Some people like the old Fast and the Furious body kits and all that stuff. Some people like it look nice and clean. I was always the guy that liked a nice clean car that went fast as fuck. I don't give a fuck about the vanity.
Our cars could be no more different. You got the big truck, and I got the like Fast and Furious Playboy car.
Well, the truck now is because I need to haul shit sometimes, and it's silver, so I like to. You didn't hear this from me, but I like to drive a little fast, and so like usually a big truck gets by without being like, you know, the guy's probably not speeding, or I hope that's what's being seen.
I heard you don't get pulled over in Fife, so.
That's why my fucking gym, I have to drive past them all the time.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, don't get pulled over in Fife or anywhere. But no, anything can be a template, I think, when it comes to like what is art, like what is our art. And so like when you said that, like I think like combat combat sports. Like, how do you go about applying what you learned in a combat scenario, or in like? But you said something also that's kind of interesting. Is like it's everyday life or something, or
The arts of life, man.
And I always tell my students the Miyoto Musashi, like, make your stance, your fighting stance, your life stance. So if you're standing in life, should like make part of that like in your stance. And so when I worked as a meat cutter at Winco, I used to have to go pull the case when I'd open, right?
Yeah.
So like I go straighten everything up and like organize everything. And I'd be doing it in like a shadow boxing thing, or I'm getting down and I'm like ducking
I love
and
that.
fucking stuff. And so like the people from like the deli or from other departments would be looking like, "Are you dancing? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't fucking worry about it. I'm fucking doing what I gotta do," you know. Like, but just always trying to find an avenue to like get better, and so little things like that. So always applying your art in ways like maybe that are unconventional. So I'm applying my art to opening the meat department at Winco.
Yeah, or doing podcasts, right? I think another thing, like martial arts is really a mirror. I always used to hear this all the time. Like, I'll spar with you, 3-4 rounds, and I'll know more about you than your best friend that doesn't fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that sounds cool. Like, what the fuck does that mean? And I remember, and I told you the story about the first time I sparred in Vancouver, and I sparred this guy who's like a 7-8 time champion, and I'm like, he looks familiar because he knocked out some of my friends. But I remember like moving with him, and he's like, this guy's good, and he ripped me in the body, And it's that moment where I'm like, why? I'm not gonna rip him back, because then I turn into a war against a guy that's better than me and bigger than me and stronger than me, And he said that after class, like, well, first of all, after I didn't know he was the owner. He's just like picked me as
Yeah.
super chill guy. He's like, yeah, let's do a round, let's do another round. And then after class, he didn't talk. I'm like, oh, this is like I just thought the level here was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. You're like,
I
what's
was
wrong
like,
with the fucking peak,
yeah.
dude? Yeah.
But it's true, man. Like, my old jiu-jitsu coach used to say, find out what you're made of on the mats.
Mm-hmm.
You squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. You squeeze carbon, you get diamond. You squeeze shit, you get shit juice.
Yeah, hopefully we won't find out shit juice.
That's the thing, is you can change, man. How many people I've seen in my life thought, like, we all have this prejudice. I'm like, this kid will never fight. This kid will never be tough. And they go on to do amazing things.
And they flip that switch, yeah.
So we never know.
Never know, man.
And then the opposite is true. Like, the thing I see almost all the time is like these young kids that have been doing martial arts their whole life, perfect, pretty technique, and they never learn heart. And I don't know if it's because that personality type makes that, or because they were always the best in the room and didn't get to create that heart. I don't know, right? Like, are fighters made? Are they born? Or is it somewhere on the spectrum?
It's definitely so. I think, man, somewhere in that spectrum.
Just like me, bro.
Yep. It's like designing a video game, right? You got Blanca versus Sagat.
Yeah.
Like, which one was born, one was fucking made. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and all attributes are fucking different. Everybody's different. Like, I love that about, so here in Tacoma specifically, and then you're up in Vancouver and stuff. So culturally, man, is a fucking melting pot. Like, I've gone other places. I've never seen like this much culture just crammed into one fucking area. Every color, race, size, difference, every difference of like political or religious, blah blah blah. You see, all of it is here in Western Washington, specifically in Tacoma, being so gritty. It's not as like Seattle-esque, where people are like.
Yeah, I fuck with the grit, bro. We're like in 8 Mile.
Yeah, well, I don't know about in 8 Mile, but like it's definitely got its
movie vibes. Like,
I always tell the story. Like, there's a radio station in Seattle. They're called the Men's Room. I listen to them all the time. And one of the dudes, he's like driving to the golf course out in Spanaway, where I'm from, and he's like driving through Parkland as he gets off the highway. And he's like, "This is not a good area." And it's like there's a bar that's linked next to a pawn shop. It's right up here on the fucking corner. And it's like you drive by and it's like, we call all the corner stores Stop and Robs. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we're not 8 Mile.
It's like smoke shop, corner store,
alcohol
fucking
store,
taco joint, fucking, yeah, another smoke shop.
Lot Lizards,
Yeah, yeah, that's Fife. That's where the gym's at, yeah. In Lakewood. It gets a little funky. But yeah, it's definitely like an industrial area or industry, city of industry,
creates interesting people.
Yeah, and people got to pay bills, so everyone's got to kind of work together.
Yeah,
so this is definitely not a like a well-off area where you're getting a lot of people that get to choose, like a lot of those, they have the time, they have the financial security that they don't have to spend all their time working with somebody they don't like. They can maybe go off and branch off. Not that anybody else doesn't have that choice. A lot of people just find themselves in tougher spots.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I love where I'm fucking from.
Yeah, clearly. Or you rep hard, bro.
Sway City, baby. So
Should we call it?
yeah,
I gotta get in the road
I was
and
gonna
take a
say,
week.
yeah, man. What else do you want to? Do you want to give anybody shout outs outside of like, what you haven't already?
Man, shout out Morebound. They did a documentary on my life. I think they did a really good job, and that's why I got connected to that kid who's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Karma Supply, Nick at Karma Supply. I fuck with him. I want to support
That's my dog.
the homies. Check out Koifish Profit, the page.
Yep.
Subscribe, follow, DM me. I want to keep traveling the world. And bro, shout out to you.
Thank you
for all this, man. One of the best seminar experiences of my life. You took real good care of me. I felt such a gracious host.
Man, thank you.
Fed me, housed me, trained with me, filmed content with me,
Yep.
listened to me ramble on my mystic Buddha shit. So
yeah, man. It's rare that people connect on like a level like that before you really met. So definitely vibe. Just want to say thank you for coming out, man, and for being a gracious guest. A lot of people, like, not necessarily martial artists, but I think the viewpoint for like Hollywood and stuff is like the diva thing.
yeah.
Like, most people aren't looking for that. Most people in combat sports, like, it's not like that. So I appreciate it. Thank you to Kyle Mitchell, our gym owner at Vital Jiu-Jitsu. Thank you, Crew Jones, for coming into the seminar and helping run the computer. You didn't have to do that. Big shout out to Chris Villar over here,
again,
the cameraman. Okay, not no little just couple cameras. Even though if they're hiring,
post,
this motherfucker got everything you need. Okay, so hit him up. The quality on this podcast compared to my phone podcasts, don't get spoiled.
We're gonna get some clips from this too. It'll be great, bro. Yeah, and we'll get you on Spotify before I leave.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right, man. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to the team, everybody that showed up. Omar and Joe at COGA for having us out last night.
Sri Suk Vital.
Fuck. Anyway,
yeah,
it was great, man.
Micah B for filming me today. That's cool.
Yeah,
check out the YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the shit.
Yep. Koifish Profit. Check out Sway City Muay Thai on IG and YouTube and I guess TikTok. I got like 31 followers. I just started it.
It'll grow fast, bro. And then TikTok's real good for local, so. And we'll collaborate again, bro. I'll be back. We'll run this again.
We're going to do something major. All right, brother.
You.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, too. Good? All right. I can get up. We're done.
Hold on. Stay right there.